Hi everybody, Dr. Cameron Cavario with Trimodus, and a lot of people are wondering, what should I expect when I go to a chiropractic office, or what should I expect when I go to a physical therapist office? And that's a really good question, and I think a lot of issues are occurring is that people don't know what to expect, and one of the failures of the industry is that chiropractors in general, there's so many techniques out there. So the big problem is like you'll have a chiropractor that just specializes in adjustment and E-stim, or just an ART doc, or just a soft tissue, or just stretching. And the problem is that there's no cohesiveness through that whole industry. And other people are like, well, what about PTs? Some PTs are amazing. Some of them just run a mill of exercise. They give you a sheet and then you run through a mill. And so not a lot of people don't know what, they don't know what to expect. And so one of the big problems is that when you go in, you don't have any fluidity between office to office. And so one of the things that we want to do is kind of give you a little bit of a why behind and what you should expect when you come to different chiropractic offices and what you want to really go for and look for in a provider. And one of the big things is it's kind of, you got to figure out your own goal. And so if you just want to get some pain relief really quick, well, you have a lot of options. I mean, you've got drugs and steroids you could do. You can get stretched really quick or cracked really quick and you might get out of pain. But if your true goal is to understand the root cause and you want to understand where this is bubbling up from and really work on changing your function so this doesn't happen again, that is a very specific provider that you're looking for. And so those are the providers that we call a modern day therapist. And modern day therapists can be a chiropractor, there could be a PT, but what we're looking for in those two providers is that they have a toolbox full of stuff that they can use, and they're certified and they're well read in all of these different techniques. And so some little tips that you want to look for are, is this provider, do they work with a lot of different types of injuries? Are they just specialized in pain with the spine, or do they work on knees, shoulders, and elbows? And one of the big things that we like to influence people to look for is providers that really encompass a strategy of a technique called DNS. It's dynamic neuromuscular stabilization. And those providers, they've learned from the grandfathers of manual medicine. And that's just a great encompassing technique that can really help a lot of people get to the root cause. And then those providers layer on different biomechanical techniques. They layer on different muscle work. Those providers, they blend different passive therapies with active therapies, which mean passive is cupping and dry needling, massage, soft tissue release. Active, which I think is even more important, is really finding some dysfunction in your body and adding some exercise to it so we can increase the function to it. And so all of those things is what we want to look for in a modern day therapist. And one big thing is that you want to understand, how much time am I going to spend with this provider? And so if you're going to go to a provider that's only going to spend 5 to 10 minutes with you, you're probably going to just get out of pain really fast. If you want somebody to help change your function, you're looking at a provider that's probably going to spend anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes with you on the first visit, maybe 20 to 40 minutes every subsequent visit. Sometimes those treatments can last 6 to 8 weeks, but at that point, then you're just going in for routine maintenance. Those are the type of providers that we're looking for. And so what we want to do is we want to offer you guys a little bit of a guide, a little bit of a cheat. And so subscribe below, and we're going to offer you a PDF that's going to give you kind of like some guidelines and basically just a how-to and understand this industry and what you should expect out of a great modern day therapist, so that when you make a new patient appointment, you'll know what questions to ask and you'll know what to look for. And so once again, subscribe, get that PDF and download it, and really be well informed before